Hi everyone, today unusually I want to start from my mental game diary, and I have a separate playlist for this, and I will like duplicate or read it there as well. But just this last month was really interesting. I really felt like something is going on inside my head, and today I try to understand what is particularly going on. I'm not sure, I don't think that I exactly described it, but overall I call it transformation. And approximately it looks like this. So finishing one of the best month in my trading. By the way, it's not profit wise. It's more like about the stability, consistency, and overall how I think about what I do. So very stable and calm mental state. This strange transformation, as I called it, and I mentioned it before in this mental game diary, continues to happen, but I can't fully say what's happening. On the outside, what changes recently is or are what I did, I changed to 5 minute for confirmation patterns instead of 1 minute. Changed to 3 hour take profit. Filter and enter now only on A quality setups. Naturally, the number of trades per week lowered to 5-10 from 15-25. Started specific kind of meditations from Mooji. Probably most important, started to use trade manager and drawdown limiter, which are not which are extremely helpful technically, but I mean, which are not only extremely helpful technically, but also help me to feel safe in the markets. And you can find links in the description. Reached a record of rule following challenge, 23 days of rule following. Trying to practice gratitude. Thinking much more about the process, which for me is constant rule following, challenge, and quality rather than profit. If I don't see a setup right away, I step away. During this week, my analysis usually took me basically 5-10 minutes maximum. And then I understand if the setup is there or not there. So I don't need too much time. And I didn't need it before. But before, when I didn't see a setup, I just started to look again and again and again until I finally, quote, found something. Of course, it was nothing there. I had basically 4 trades, 75% win rate, and 8-hour profit, which is a repeat of a record week I had 3 months ago. And by the way, over the course of recent 17 weeks, that's how much, like 4 months. Yeah, 4 months. And I didn't count 2 weeks with huge tilt, but I counted weeks with mild tilt. I had average 2.2 RR per week on average, and I had a period of 4 profitable weeks in a row. So maximum RR was 8 in 1 week, and minimum was -8 as well. And if exclude tilt weeks all along, then over the course of 16 weeks, I had 2.6 RR on average, which for me is basically an indication of consistency. But here I can add that I think I have some mild problems with confidence overall in my life, like in terms of thinking about myself as actual good trader. So if I look at my results, they are actually good, but because I still didn't have an actual influence on my life, I mean from money perspective. So kind of had funded accounts, had some payouts, then lost funded accounts, now working on one more. So like it seems like I really progressed over these 4 years that I'm trading, but I still didn't have a significant money effects in my life from trading. And I think because of this, I I think that I still do, I'm not enough. I don't know. So yeah, it's definitely something there, but it's not so important anymore. So one of the traps I had during past 2 or 3 months, but not this month, is definitely entering on B quality setups. As you remember, I allowed myself to enter on B plus, and A quality setups. But now I decided that I will not enter on B quote. And why? Because it happened because when I learned a strategy and I started to feel like I know better now, and even when the setup as I saw was not the best, I allowed myself kind of to predict based on B quality setups because I thought that I have this knowledge of the market, but actually no, I don't. I only know more or less when I see a really high quality setup, real clear, then maybe I can start that. Maybe I can say that it is worth taking risk. But mostly what I see is a market that is not clear to me. But I didn't want to accept it as a fact, and I continued to push myself to find a setup, and it played a really big joke with me. So overall, it's one more time when I show myself that everything lines up when I enter this long flow state, and I do what I know works best for me. Strange to think that I will blow it up again someday, really crazy, but yeah, and it's really crazy, but it will probably happen. My task is just to hold as long as I can, and that's it. I don't know. It's just my direct experience. It's what I'm feeling right now. I had so much struggle with trading, just enormous amount of struggle. And this past period when I started to use these instruments and when I just like calmed down a bit, I mean, it's yeah, it's really going good. I mean, when I will show you this account, yeah, it's not going perfectly well, but as you can see, past 2 or 3 recaps, we were here, and now we are starting to move up. So as I said before, I hope this was a start of something like this. So I expect maybe next week drawdown again, and then we will move on because this was not the strategy. Like this was the strategy. I'm not sure if this was the strategy, but these were my mistakes that I know I made. And as you can see, I managed to keep it more or less stable because usually when I start to make mistakes, it's just fall. And of course, even the very fact itself that it's already 51 days from the start and actively 25 days, I think that's already good with this kind of performance. Yes, I mean, it's looking awful, I know to you, but for me, it's okay. And I just know that, for instance, this profit and these profits, they are not like random. They are truly based on the strategy, on approach. But the problem is that I still have these emotional problems. Okay, I really want to believe that so why I believe that this transformation is actually happening because I did something new, okay, and I don't know. I just feel that this is it. This is it. Okay, now let's recap some of the trades. I mean, all of the trades that I had previous week, and maybe even some other possible trades and why they didn't work. And first we'll look at US 500. As you can see during this week, everything was really bullish on all the time frames. Bullish models with accumulations and reaccumulations. This is how it looked on the weekly. So huge reaccumulation that became confirmed, and now market is moving up to take out these highs. On the day, we just continue to push high with this impulse correction, and one more possible impulse. On 4 hours created this impulse correction, and 1 hour as well, just moving bullish. So when I went to 5 minutes, so this is just forward tested trades. This one I didn't take. I took third trade. This one was also over forward tested. So why I didn't take this, although the setup was okay. So we had this classical impulse, correction, and impulse. I just didn't like. Oh, actually, it was stopped out after 6 hours. So it's just a setup, you know. But why I didn't take it? Because as you can see, 15 minutes is not that clear. So why it's not that clear? Because of this. Because we don't have a direction. We just have accumulation or possible distribution, and yeah, because of this. And so this is how unclear market look like. So let's move further. And the next one is also forward tested. It's a bit better right now on the entry time frame. Why? Because we already had like one break, then this local reaccumulation, and now price confirms that it wants to move even higher. We have impulse correction and next impulse, or impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse. And this one, I guess, went to take profit. So this was a forward tested trade, and as you can see, in the moment of the entry, even 15 minutes became a bit clearer. Why? Because even though it's all inside structure, it went to this high. Yes, it could reject, but because 5 minutes was were more or less clear as well, and we have all these highs, and we have really bullish context overall, as you know, here and from daily and from higher time frames, it was an okay trade. So it confirmed bullishness, and then I don't know, on Wednesday, this was actually a real trade. And what we had here is a market that recently created, we can call it an accumulation here, or fractal reaccumulation, and then created one more impulse to the downside. Clear range with correction into the zone, as you can see, and then creation of impulse correction impulse, or demand zone 2.0. What is demand zone 2.0? Basically is when you have a range, a zone, a tap, and price starts to move. And then while price created this internal range here, inside of it, in the overall bullish context, we have price action development of this move to the upside, tap into the zone, and creation of impulse correction, and impulse. So in the moment of this impulse happening on 15 minutes, and especially entry time frame was 5 minutes, so entry pattern is this one. We have impulse correction, then smaller impulse correction, and while the price was breaking, so it would be even better to enter somewhere here, but my entry point is here. This is already including spread. And my notes is intuition was telling basically no, mostly because of the session, because we are approaching lunchtime London, and it is not Germany 30, which is better for London session. Also 15 minutes is pre-symmetry, daily a bit overextended. Choose from US 30 and Germany 30 a bit, and this one, because this one was the clearest for me. Also US 100 was good, but I will show you right now. So price started to slowly develop, then went a bit into the profit, and I said, so I didn't believe in this trade, because I knew that New York opens in 2 minutes. My guess is that we will see clearing of the lows, and so on and so on. So this push happened before the news, so I said, okay, probably it's just manipulative and it will clear it. But the price started to push clearly to the upside, and I said, with this pushes, I'm convinced it will reach take profit. Would be funny and sad when it actually reverses, when I think it will hit now, because I thought, okay, now here I thought that it will come back, but now I am thinking it will hit take profit and it will reverse. So it actually went to take profit here at 3R, went to 4R, and then it made a move that I was thinking would happen. So this was a US 500 trade based on context and impulse correction, impulse entry pattern. US 100 was looking basically the same, you can see, but maybe even more clear setup. So we have structure S&P confirmation, which we traded like in the beginning, and then we have impulse correction, new impulse, and I guess price action development was even more clear. Next trade was gold. Gold was pushing bullishly, as you can see, as well, based on ranges, impulses, and models in the market. Here, how it looked on the daily. So daily just created this big push, correction into the zone, and started to push higher into these highs. Then 4 hours created this consecutive shifts to the upside and also push to the upside. So again, you see, I'm ignoring all these zones. I mean, just not to take too much of your time, check cloud liquidity, liquidity clouds on MentFx channel, and just look through his channel, because he described this many times. So a lot of weak side is trading this to the downside, maybe from here, and especially when it happened now they are shorted, but we know that overall context is bullish, and that's why we are trading to the bull side. But I'm just showing what this specific trade is based on, and it is based on this price action development that happened recently. And then on 1 hour it created one more push, correction, and we had possible continuation to the upside. How can we say that it is happening? We are going to lower time frames to search for confirmations, and on lower time frames we have a classical pattern. So what the market is doing. So what is this pattern? This is a classical unconfirmed reaccumulation here on 15 minutes. However, if we see what's happening on 5 minutes, then we basically get a confirmed reaccumulation. I mean, confirmed maybe on fractal structure, but it's pretty clear. So we have this zone from 15 minutes, we have this significant push to the downside, and we have this zone. This zone is a kind of a change of character for the weak side. And I mean, I am not having anything against the change of character, but the problem with it is that it is often used with no links to the context. And when you just see the market that is making one push to the downside, and you say this is a change of character, now we are moving to deeper zones, but it's not true. It would be true if the higher context would be something like this at least. So we hit a higher time frame zone. But in the context of gold, when we are just pushing to the upside on higher time frames, and this is just our liquidity target, you see, this is flipped, and this is the problem. The problem is not in the change of character or any other strategy. The problem is when you are not analyzing enough information for your trade. And so we had basically we had this impulse, bigger correction, and then impulse, correction, and on the impulse, on the break of this, I was entering, and this was actually one of the cleanest trades I ever had, because it just pushed to the target, and that's all. So it went to 3R and then probably to 5R, if I'm not mistaken. 5R. And then went to flat. Yeah, so this was my trade. Actually, I even went to 6R. I also, by the way, wanted to show that this trade from EuroCAD, it actually went to 10R eventually. So remember, we discussed in the previous outlook. So this is how the trade developed. And then after creation of the new range, it actually went to the downside for reaccumulation. And while we are still after the gold trade, I wanted to show that the same day, or maybe the day before or after, I don't remember, but Euro GPY it created. So what we saw just on gold, it basically recreated the same on Euro GPY. So we have like upwards pushing market. I mean, not here, but on the higher time frame. So I will not be too much in detail here, but I just wanted to show this part of price action. Again, up, up, down, and then up. So really interesting. Then one more trade that I had was on GPUSD, and I kind of don't see it. Probably it's here. Yeah, Tuesday. So this was the entry. So we had impulse correction, impulse. It went to 1 or 2R, and then went to drawdown. So I will not stand too much here, but as you can see, it was based on this portion of the leg. It was okay trade, but it just appeared that the market wanted to go for this reaccumulation and then started to push higher. And overall for this week, I think I had pretty good forward testing as well. So that's when I just try kind of to put a trade where I think it might go. And yeah, overall, I saw that GJ. I mean, not I thought, but I saw that based on the MentFx screener and overall that it's moving up and it's overall moved up. And one of the latest ideas here about Euro USD. So the change of the trend, as you can see, it's moving. I was bearish, but then with the recent development, changed to both sides and it's holding. So yeah, it's all good. Looking forward to next week, and I hope this more detailed outlook was useful to you. Okay, bye.